So how are you guys doing today? And today we're gonna be reacting to the Aura Forks or some shit with the MLP Backrooms Horror AU lore explained and My Little Pony AU, which is we reacted on a lot of this guy's videos, like I think 2 or 3, and he is goated. Just go subscribe to him, like his video, like I'm doing right now, and go watch his content too. And let's just get into it because I don't want to wait anymore. All right, 1, 2, 3, let's get into it.
I recently watched the new Backrooms movie in theaters.
Oh, hold on.
And I was curious to see if there were any AUs that deal with the Backrooms. And I was surprised to find this My Little Pony AU created by Moon over on TikTok.
Nice,
and for those of you that don't know, the Backrooms
I haven't watched the Backrooms. I mean,
kind of urban legend.
I never thought
2019, if I remember correct.
I mean, I never thought they would make a fuck. I think like Backrooms kind of counts as brain rot. I mean, shit, Toon Sauron type shit. I don't even know about those things. But it does kind of count as a brain rot. It's been around since like, how long? Like 4 years, 3 years? I don't remember, but still.
And it deals with the idea of clipping or being teleported to different liminal spaces, usually been like abandoned.
Yeah, I would remember this one. This was on all horror games,
right? Most of you have probably seen the iconic yellow wallpaper office that were built like these infinite mazes. Yeah. And while this may not sound scary at first, you're not really the only thing in the Backrooms. Many entities live there as well. And while some are dying, a lot of them will not hesitate to take your life.
That's Johnson.
The worst part about that is that you don't really die.
Johnson's in the Backrooms too?
You just either respawn Johnson level, turn into a monster, or
they're running.
The backroom itself, becoming one with the dimension. And now that you have a little backstory on the Backrooms, let's go ahead and jump into the story. Now, let's go. Starts off with Twilight and Pinky walking in the center of town, having a nice conversation when Twilight suddenly vanishes. It looks like she no-clipped into level 0 of the back room.
No-clipped? The fuck does no-clipped mean again? I have no idea what it means.
What happened to her.
Is that normal?
What I know, level 0 is called the lobby, and as I said earlier, this is probably the most well-known area in the back rooms. And in the original lore, there isn't supposed to be any entities on this floor, but that isn't always the case, especially in different fan fiction.
Well, I don't know anything about back rooms, so it's good that he's explaining it in some way.
He finally goes to AJ and Rarity to explain what happened. And while they don't,
she just vanished. She just instant transmission. Like
willing to go back to the place where she was last seen. And as Pinky leads them back to this fountain, she is teleported away as well, also being sent to level 0 of the backroom.
We got witnesses now.
After seeing Pinky vanish, AJ starts to feel guilty about not believing her, and even more guilty about getting her teleported away. And while Rarity is...
They don't even know what this is all about. Maybe she's not even in trouble. Like, bro, fuck. Applejack, please eat something. You're not eating?
She's more concerned with how AJ is handling this right now, especially considering that she isn't eating anymore. Back over with Twilight,
fuck's sake, it's not that
she's still wandering around floor 0 when she hears a screech coming from somewhere behind her. And then we see this abomination. My guess is that this monster is another pony that got stuck in the back.
It looks like a FNAF.
And then turned into this thing.
Foxy, but without the mask, you know, so like, if you know what I mean.
Luckily, Twilight is more than strong enough to defeat this monster. But as you can see here, she took some damage in the fight.
Her wing is broken. Yeah, she's dead. She's gone.
Blind in one eye. We also learned that 2 weeks have passed at this point, and her horn has started to burn out because she's been fighting so much. When we see Pinky's new stat sheet, it's revealed that she's been in the back room for 2 days at this point.
But what the fuck is she gonna do? She doesn't even have superpowers.
Or corrupted ponies, although there does seem to be something watching her. Next, we cut to Dashi, and she's tired of just sitting around and plans to go find Pinky and Twilight herself. But once she steps onto the cloud, she starts to sink.
Oh, that's not possible because Pegasus is yeah. See,
to walk on the clouds.
Yeah, see,
it looks like she.
I wanted to say that, but you said it first. I have knowledge. I have ball knowledge. Don't worry about me.
The pool room, which is why she's submerged in water.
Damn.
The next day, AJ, Rarity, and Fluttershy all meet up.
Because
of course, the first thing that they notice is that Dashi is missing. And even though Shy's been looking all around town for her, no one has seen her. And the only reason that the girls don't know Dashi has vanished like Twilight or Pinky is because they blocked off the fountain. And as of now, they think that there's only 1 teleportation point, but we know that there's at least 2 and likely more.
Yeah, so
we see that she not only was able to find an exit.
No, I'll stay in one spot. I'll stay in my bed. I'll be laying on my bed, not moving.
Her eye is still damaged.
Imagine you're trying to go get some water and then you're in your shorts and just
and it looks
teleports
similar to where Dashi was sent to. And when we look at her stat sheet, it's confirmed.
How the fuck did she cut her hair?
Which is the pool room. And also, for her, 1 month has passed so far, showing that time truly does move differently in the back rooms. Next, we see Rarity and AJ.
Shit, time always works differently. Like, you don't see a story about another realm that the time works the same. Like, there is no way. There is absolutely no freaking way. It always, like, I'm not trying to, like, say something that is obvious. It's like something that is a fact. It's like a facts thingy. So if you actually go watch some other realm movies or animations or fanfics or anything else, time is always different. Like, what's up with that? Be creative. Do something else.
Go through the portal
like,
that popped up by the fountain, and they tell Fluttershy.
I mean, this is like an ordinary AU, but still trying to say they all can be creative.
Through, we see they end up on level 0, and I'm happy to see that they were able to stay together. I think these two will have a good chance of fighting off anything that pops up.
Oh, she got Leon's
tough as heck, but Rarity is also really strong in her own right. I think a lot of times people forget that because usually she's more concerned with like fashion and beauty.
Shit, she got Twilight in the final episodes.
For Twilight, then she senses something behind her. I forgot about the fact that Pinky does have her Pinky sense, which allows her to identify danger, which is actually a really useful skill to have in this situation. And since she was able to see the monster before it could attack, she was able to
monsters. We all know him, right?
And AJ.
I mean, shit. If y'all played Roblox when you were kids, you know that guy.
And I want to point out here,
you know, Backrooms from Roblox, basically. You actually think about it.
I really don't like these dark spots under her eyes, and we already noticed she hasn't been getting much sleep, and I'm hoping that doesn't catch up to her while she's in the Backrooms. Now, back over with Twilight,
I don't think it will.
On the 27th floor for a full month now, and is starting to lose hope until she hears some hooves clomping in the distance. And then we see Dash pop out of the shadows.
She got a different hairstyle.
Off to you, it's because she has aged 21 years since she's been in the Backrooms. And I'm honestly surprised to see that her sanity is still at 58%. If I was alone in a pool room for over 20 years, I would be absolutely insane. We also get to see that
for real. What the heck? 21 years.
Pretty good.
And she's counting as so.
She's been through while in the Backrooms.
Normally, like.
Ponies start to catch up at Rainbow's camp, and she reveals how long she.
Imagine you're not home. You don't have access to anything, and I don't even know how these bitches eat or where they find food. I guess they just eat water and just digest that. I have no idea. And I don't know where she got that tent and that backpack. I hope I knew, because in the back rooms you don't get much things. Like it's a fucking whole endless place with nothing. Like basically nothing. If I catch that correctly. And apparently she's been going in there away from her home, away from her friends, and she's fine with it. Damn.
Alone. She also gives some insight into how she was able to survive, and apparently supplies just randomly appear on this level, so overall she doesn't really have to worry about food, water, or shelter. The only bad news is that Smilers pop up on this level sometimes. And Smilers are these entities that usually hide in the shadows and have glowing white eyes and sharp teeth. The good thing about them is that they only attack if you panic, so if you keep eye contact and move away slowly, they can be easily avoided. They also attract bright light, so throwing a light source out in the distance is another great way to get away from them. As we take another look at Twilight's stat sheet, it's clear that she's sad that her friend has been trapped here for so long, but she's also happy to actually have a companion in this place now. And we can see also that her sanity has gone up a few points, and the same can be said for Dashie.
21 years. Hold on, how much was Twilight? 15 weeks.
Gone up a few points,
and
the same can be said for Dashie, showing that just them being together is helping them both out immensely. Now, back over with Pinky, we see that she is still running away from the entity that's chasing her when she sees these three slots.
I told you she has no power, bro. Like
one is just that dude is question marks, and the other says this way.
Do not choose
the exit. I'm not really surprised that Pinky ended up going with the random slide because she is pretty whimsical. Based on this stat sheet here, it looks like she has escaped into the pool room, which may mean that she's going to actually reunite with Dash and Twilight. After that, we cut back to AJ and Rarity, and they have lost Pinky's trail. And having no real lead to go on,
you're camping in there.
But instead of
normally,
AJ is blaming herself again, worried that something may have happened to Pinky because they were too slow to get to her. But Rarity isn't allowing her to go down that dark road again and gets really close to AJ's face, causing her to blush. And while I'm pretty sure there is a ship.
What the fuck are we doing right now? This was not what I expected. This is not what I want. I wanted to do the AU, do a video, put some horse shit into it, and now they ruined it. They ruined it.
For Rarity and Applejack, I think it's like Rary Jack or something. I feel like we almost never see it in any AUs, so I'm not expecting too much from this interaction. I think this situation is just two friends comforting each other to the best of their ability.
Thank you.
Take a look
that guy is bright. I hate him.
Even though Rarity is,
I hate him. He's bright. I like that.
She's actually terrified for Pinky and the rest of her friends, but she's doing a great job of not letting it show and also keeping AJ strong. I just hope that she's going on with these guys. Keep herself strong. Back over in Ponyville, we see that Starlight and Fluttershy are taking their job.
Wait, Flutter what? Flutter what? What?
Strong. Back over in Ponyville, we see that Starlight and Fluttershy.
Fluttershy, huh? Fluttershy. More like Flutter Guy. If you, that's actually a reference. If you don't know, you don't know. But if you know, you know. If you're a Little Pony, that's Flutter Guy. Which I really like. That was totally my favorite pony. I'm not
taking their job of keeping.
Flutter Guy was the most funniest part of the entire show.
They even have all the Cutie Mark Crusaders in the house with them, which is really smart considering how
I would not move an inch.
Infected or taken out in these AUs. Fluttershy also makes a interesting observation, which leads me to believe that maybe he has something to do with this mess in one way or another.
I mean, in the final seasons, he said that he wants to test the princess, and it bring out like freed from like 3 ultimate villains from the prison just to test Twilight.
Starlight's stat sheet, I believe that she thinks Discord has something to do with the situation as well.
Okay, it's no big deal for this guy.
Proof.
That guy can just snap.
Solid proof at this time. Now back over in the back rooms, we see Twilight and Dashie flying down one of these hallways when Dash notices a Smiler stalking them. She tells Twilight to run ahead because she knows how to deal with these things, but Twilight doesn't want to leave her alone because she just got her back. So she readies herself for a fight, only to see Dashie get crushed against this wall and taken out. And as you can see here, this sudden violence stuns Twilight for a moment, and this gives the creature an opening to get its tentacle around her neck. And as she's suspended in the air, slowly having a life squeezed from her, the last thing that she thinks of is Rainbow before she fades to...
Wait, she actually died? Whoa. What the fuck?
When we see her new statue,
she died?
It's all question marks, and the same pops up for Dashie. The difference that I note here is that Rainbow has a note saying that she was killed, while Twilight does not. And this gives me hope that maybe she actually survived. Okay. Meanwhile, Pinky is just over here wandering around this
that's beautiful.
house, and we learn that she is on the 974th floor, which is known as Kitty's room. And funny enough, this is considered a safe floor. The only entity here is Kitty, and as long as you respect their house, don't be too loud, and don't overstay your welcome, you will have zero problem.
What do you mean don't overstay my welcome? Like, if I wander around too much, I'm gonna get killed. I mean, it's not my fault. I gotta go to the next level. Maybe I can't.
Again, she's literally running for her life again on floor 462, which is actually called Run for Your Life. Eventually, she does make it to another exit and hops.
Wasn't that the solution?
Greeted by none other than Pinky, who's just resting on this bed, having a relaxing little day. Twilight is so relieved to see her that she just collapses on the floor and allows Pinky to comfort her. We also learn that the reason the Smiler was able to take Dashie out so easily is because it was corrupted. This is also really bad because corrupted entities can sometimes transform their victims into monsters, which means that we may actually see Rainbow again at some point. The corrupted pony that attacked Twilight early on.
You don't know if that's a corrupted pony though.
We see that Pinky has managed to calm Twilight down and has even done her hair, but as you can tell by her face, she's been pretty distant with Pinky. The reason being is that she's still thinking about Dashie's death. Eventually, she drops this truth onto Pinky, and we can tell that she doesn't take this very well. When we see her stat sheet, her sanity has gone from 96% all the way down to 59%.
Damn.
And it also doesn't help that Twilight revealed that the entity that took Dashie out was unique and highly dangerous. And she's theorizing that any normal Smiler wouldn't have been able to stand
This is a nice house. I don't mean that my house looks like this, because pink is my favorite color. It's embarrassing, I know, but still.
Both the ponies have had time to calm down. Pinky asks Twilight why she hasn't tried to just teleport out. And honestly, I was thinking the same thing. But then Twilight reveals that she has tried to use her powers, but they usually just
sarcasm.
Or they just don't work at all, which kind of makes
sarcasm.
Sense.
She shows some sarcasm over there.
Easy if she could just warp out of here whenever she wanted to. I'm also happy to see that after a week in Kitty's house, Twilight's sanity is back at 89, while Pinky's is back up to 90, showing that resting in this safe house was actually really helpful for both of them. In the next scene, we finally get to see AJ and Rarity again, and they're still searching around level 0 for their friends. Eventually, they find an exit, and when they go through, they end up in what looks like a playroom. And funny enough, when we see their stat sheets, they're actually in the playroom, specifically level 283, which is known as the playgrounds. These two have been
playgrounds and horror things like are just not. It does not sit well with me. Like not at all.
60%. Well,
like the most scariest part, you know those videos on TikTok is like your month and where you're gonna live for 1 month. You know, it's like those type of TikTok videos. I answered one of them. I answered one of them. I took out like I think I got a playhouse thing. It's like this one, and it was dark. And playhouses are never fun. I remember that when I was a kid, I played a horror game, and we were stuck in this playhouse thingy, right? So I played that shit. I didn't sleep for 3 days. 3 days, like literally, I would have nightmares of that playhouse. Like playhouses do not sit well with me if it's about horror.
AJ is still doing okay at 17.
Fuck, like getting stuck in a playhouse is like the worst thing that can happen to you.
Bad as well, meaning that they're going to have to find some supplies soon, or they're just going to have to find a way out of it.
This place gives me a bad vibe.
In the next chapter, we finally get to
see
Luna
it does.
And Celestia.
It does to me too.
Like Celestia hasn't been able to sleep since Twilight went missing.
Imagine they get into the backrooms, they'd be vibrating.
And the only person that they can think to blame is Discord. So with this, they call Shy and Starlight to the castle and start to question them. And while Shy tries to defend him, Celestia makes a good point when she mentions the fact that whatever is happening has something to do with portals, and Discord has the ability to open portals to other dimensions. And he's also careless enough to send ponies to a different dimension for little to no reason. We all remember what he was willing to do to Tree Hugger. After a bit of convincing from Celestia and Starlight, Shy agrees to reach out to Discord, although she's still in denial, thinking that there's no way he can be responsible for this disaster.
He is responsible. I feel like we have that feeling.
And it's kicking Pinky and Twilight.
Listen, whenever something that disaster happened after Discord showed up and they became, Discord became their friends, mostly the start enemy and the end enemy of every season was thanks to Discord. If I actually think about that, yeah, it is. Like or if it wasn't, Discord will cause trouble one way or another. So.
And as they exit, they find themselves in the playground.
Oh, fuck's sake!
Last time we checked in with them.
And those slides,
they are still here, wandering around in the dark. And here's where Rarity's sanity is starting to break. We can see that she is shaking, and she tells AJ that she's hearing voices. And when we see her stat sheet,
I'll just kill myself. Yeah, I'm out of here.
And I find it really strange that her sanity is gone so much.
I'll be running.
AJ is still doing pretty good. And I wonder if this is
I'll be doing a 50-meter dash. I'm not having
specific
this.
Is attacking
I'm not having playgrounds.
Now our Rarity is freaking out. We cut to this random pony saying, "Look what we have here, Loki. It's been a while since we had visitors. What do you say? Should we tour them a bit?" And I'm sure most of you probably know this, but these ponies are likely OCs. This bloody knife right here as a cutie mark is pretty common in like grimdark and creepypasta fandoms. Back over with Pinky and Twilight, we see that Pinky has found a route to another part of the playground, but Twilight tells her to wait a moment because she sees something out in the distance. But when Twilight finally looks back over to Pinky, she's already walked away and found herself in a new part of the playground.
Oh shit, that's a scary sight. Holy fuck. Twilight, why are you looking like that?
With this creature behind her, because we all
know it's a fake.
Twilight.
Yeah, the way she was looking is fucked up.
Even she can tell something's off with Twilight here. Meanwhile, back over with Rarity,
that's not Applejack
AJ. Have gotten even louder in her head,
I don't think that's AJ.
Forcing her into a fetal position, and she keeps saying that shadowy figures are in the corners of the room, talking to her, telling her that she's failed and that she was supposed to be AJ's rock. And hearing this, she's just become a bumbling mess. But AJ doesn't really care about any of that. She just wants her friend to be okay, and she doesn't really know how to help her.
Friend, huh?
In the next chapter, we see Pinky and fake Twilight again.
She is literally bleeding from her mouth. Like, bro.
On with her friend. But before this mimic can actually say or do anything, a knife comes out of nowhere and buries itself into his chest. And then Pinky hears someone says, "Don't worry, that wasn't your friend. I just saved your life."
Thanks, guy. Are you gonna hit on me now?
Because she doesn't trust.
Because people do that. Tend to do that. When they do something good for you, they just hit on you.
Sure that they didn't just take out
Twilight.
When we get to see this new pony's stat sheet, we learn that he originally wanted to use the knife.
His name is Low Key,
but his partner didn't.
Yeah, I low key don't care.
He is the more reasonable of the two. Although we also learn that she has been stalking Pinky for a few days, so she's also crazy, just in a different way, maybe. Now, while all that is going on, we cut over to Fluttershy and see her out in the woods calling for Discord. And surprisingly, he actually pops up. Shy asks him if he has any idea of what's going on in Ponyville, and he says, of course. But the thing that caught my attention was that Discord actually is the one behind the disappearance of her friends. Discord revealed that he's opened up a bunch of different portals in Ponyville, with the goal being to see how the town will react if the main 6 disappeared. In his mind, this was all just a harmless experiment meant to break through the boredom and pony.
See, I told you, he's always doing that. He did that shit in the last season of My Little Pony, and that is not well. Testing and shit.
Different. Back over with Twilight, we see that she is depressed over losing another friend, thinking the worst could have happened to Pinkie. But as she looks over the playground, she spots AJ watching over Rarity as she rests. And with tears in her eyes, she goes up and greets her friends. And I have to say, I love how happy AJ looks here, and I kind of understand why. She and Rarity have been in the back rooms for about 2 weeks now, and this is her first
only 2 weeks. That boy is a Sigma. Like Rainbow Dash is a Sigma, bro.
Nice to have another.
He's been staying down there for 21 years.
What really surprised me in this chapter is that these two ponies
are right over there. Be safe now.
Oh,
I thought they were bad guys because he had a side.
Something evil. But yeah, I think that the original creator had to change some stuff and shorten this AU.
Poor thing.
And I'm thinking that's why this pair didn't have as big of a role as they were probably initially.
Well, aren't y'all gonna go with them to find a way out too?
Pinkie gets back to her crew and she immediately hugs Twilight, happy to see that she's still alive and well. And this is the first time in this AU where all the ponies are back together. And while Twilight is overjoyed by this fact, she's also worried that something is going to happen to make her lose another friend.
Obviously,
moment of reprieve where all
it's all the creators' fault.
Celebrate this victory.
That's his fault.
Starting to get some of her
it's all creators' fault, bro. Like I'm not
going stat sheet again.
No
and while they did help Pinkie, they make it quite clear that the next ponies that come into the back room will be taken out. And I think this just gives more fuel to my idea that initially these two were supposed to have a bigger role in this AU. But that's just my theory for now. Now, as the ponies are sharing their experiences so far, Twilight lets them know what happened to Rainbow. She reveals that she didn't really see Rainbow's body, but she knows that she lost way too much blood to be alive. She was
literally squished to death. The fuck you talking about lost too much blood? There was nothing but blood stains on the floor.
This conversation, Pinkie spots some writing on the wall across the way, and when the ponies go take a look, it says, "Did you really think we would let her go so easily?"
Oh shit,
the girls are trying to figure out what that message means, they also realize that Rarity isn't with them. And at that moment, they hear her scream come out of the darkness. And then we see Twilight's eyes go wide as she's looking at her friend. She notices that she is now missing a leg. And to make matters worse, it was this monstrous Twilight that assaulted her. And right as it looks like Rainbow Dash have to make a final
she literally has rainbow hair.
Former friend, they are teleported out of the back rooms and end up in the Canterlot Castle.
Damn.
It seems like Discord was able to use his power to teleport them back. But as Shy points out, Rainbow is not back with them. And Twilight explains
she's dead.
She says, what remains of Rainbow Dash is gone. She is no longer in there. And while saying this, I hate how she just looks completely devastated about it. The next chapter takes place 3 years later, and while Ponyville is the same as always, it has taken the ponies a lot of time to get used to living a normal life again. Rarity was able to make a full recovery, and someone was able to make a prosthetic leg for her so she can still get around normally.
Imagine a beautiful fucking girl doing that shit.
The family is thriving as always, while Pinkie went back to the bakery and is still her normal bubbly self. And while Twilight went back to her princess duties, she has never really got over Rainbow's death, and it makes sense that she was hit harder than everybody else since she was the one that actually witnessed the death. Now, since it was revealed that Discord was behind the ponies disappearing, he was banished from the kingdom, and I think that's actually a light punishment for all the chaos that he caused.
Well,
while most
banished
of the
ponies
are okay with him being gone, Shy has taken it pretty hard. She barely leaves her home anymore, spending most of her time with her animals or at her cottage. All in all, I have to say that this AU was very unique. I think this one falls squarely into the horror AU category, and I really appreciate that it actually
that was very good.
And while it sucks that Dash ended up passing away in this AU, I do appreciate that one of the main 6 ponies actually dies. Usually in these AUs, it's either one of the children or a pony
that shit was fire.
Character like Derpy. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video.
That was fire. Here, like the twists, the test, everything about it was just fire. Like sick. But yeah, that was it. Alright guys, I thank you guys for watching, and if you want to watch the actual video, you should I put the link down in the description, obviously, and the link of the video and link of the creator, which is right here on the screen. You can see him, and please go subscribe to him and go watch his videos, because these videos are goated. And I'll see you guys next time in the next video, tomorrow probably. So peace.